Hi guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley. This episode is coming to you a couple of days late, so apologies for that. But it's great, and it's worth waiting for. This is a great interview with the one, the only Trademark Blud. This is the third time he's been on my show. He is, of course, back with the Shropshire Music Awards. First of all, I love chatting to Trademark Blud. We gel really well, especially when we start talking about music. Music is a huge passion of mine, and especially when it comes to 90s hip hop. It's sort of what I was around, what I grew up around. So yeah, you can hear that in this podcast. It's really nice when you can just switch off and just geek out about something that you're passionate about. And music is one thing that Trademark Blud is passionate about. Not only is he brilliant with his own music, by the way, he's on Spotify. He's everywhere that music is. I use YouTube Music, same thing as part of Spotify, kind of. Have a look for Trademark Blud and have a listen to some of his music. His music is very well made. A lot of, there's lots of songs that he's made that are, if you're in Shropshire, geographically, about Shropshire, there's lots of stuff about life, but it's generally really, really good music. His music's on my playlist in my car all the time. So give Trademark Blud a look. And also the Shropshire Music Awards. I don't know how they're doing for tickets. During this podcast, we were talking about how they were selling quickly. But if I were you, I would go to shropshiremusicawards.co.uk and have a look at how many tickets are left. They're doing it at the place in Oakengates. That's where it's being held. And it's on the 28th of September. Didn't need to look at my diary for that because I know that it's because I'm going to be there. The Shrewsbury Biscuit's going to show up. We're going to get some interviews and we will be about. So if you come to the event, you'll see us there. But anyway, I don't want to ruin it for you. Let's go into the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Trademark Blud. Hi guys, so we're doing this again with Mr. Trademark Blud for the Shropshire Music Awards 2023. They're going again. I'm really excited about this because I'm going to try my best to get there this year. I really want to be there because we missed out last year and I was really, really gutted. But thank you so much for coming back on the show to talk to us, man.
No problem, man. No problem at all. Thanks for having me, mate. It's COVID last time, was it? Did you have COVID?
I think I had a chest infection. I could barely breathe.
Something bad. I remember. Yeah.
I'll turn this blurry background off because even though you guys can't see, because this is audio only, the blurred background is weird. It like cuts a bit out my head and stuff like. It's really distracting. It's been a very interesting year for you this year. I've seen you've been up to so much. Is it safe to say that the Shropshire Music Awards has been quite a bit of a catapult for you moving forward?
Do you know what? I wouldn't say so. As far as like Trademark Blud work goes, it's been consistent since 2007, I think, and it only kind of 2021 was only quieter because it came off the back of COVID. So I went from like 2016, 17, 18 doing 100 shows plus a year. Came back from COVID. I think I did 10, 2020. Probably did about the same 21, and maybe I've done 20, 25 this year. So it's kind of going back. But I wouldn't say the awards I wouldn't say they've made a difference to my music promotionally or anything. But I think I know a lot more musicians, definitely. So from a networking perspective, it's done stuff, but it's too. I think if it was a hip hop awards, maybe it's just Shropshire, isn't it? It's so cross genre. It's The
reason why I ask, we've been working with a lot of musicians and music events. We're at Loop Fest, for example. We made some really good friends in the music scene in the last year or so, and I bring up that we've been working with you and stuff, and over the last year, and you've got a lot of respect. There's a lot of respect there, and that's why I ask, because what you did, I think, for a lot of local musicians, you and your team, is quite phenomenal. Because I think it's nice for musicians just to have something to aim for. Do you know what I mean? I think it's
definitely, yeah. I think, I mean, it won't even have been the first time it's been thought of in Shropshire, I'd imagine. You know, I think amongst other things that musicians feel we need in Shropshire, as a Shropshire kind of scene, it kind of, I mean, it probably seems obvious to everyone now, given the quality of the acts that you see across genre again. Like, it just makes sense. And yeah, I mean, it's good to have a lot of respect for kind of doing it. Again, I'd say, do you know what? I've always been this kind of guy, and I guess this was the next thing I did. I mean, I used to put on rap battles when no one would even listen to rap in Shropshire. I used to put on rap shows and book acts who couldn't get gigs. And I think I empathise, being a musician, I empathise with the position, and my brain goes a little step further and thinks, well, how can we solve it? And sometimes I regret it, you know, when I realise the work that it takes. But, you know, I think I wouldn't saying regret it's going too far. I don't regret it, but I think when it's an idea in your head, it seems so easy, isn't it? And then when you do
a lot of logistics involved when you're looking after loads of other people, and a thing that grows to be quite prestigious as well. You know?
It takes it out of you a bit, but I think the reward's always good at the end. I think that's probably why I keep doing it. To be fair, I keep chasing it. Do you know what I mean? And I constantly see acts and artists, and this ain't even just for Shropshire really. This is wherever I go, and I always think, well, what could help them? What could make things better for them? Or is there something I already know that they don't? And, you know, something as simple as like a couple of my mates, they're on flyers and their photos ain't right. And I'm always like, mate, just if you either get yourself a camera, get someone to do you some shots. And, you know, from a promotional perspective, it's a small thing, but these little tiny things matter, you know. So I suppose it's a bit of experience really that I've got that I kind of like to share. And yeah.
And I saw that when we interviewed you at Mature, and you had a again, a posse of people that were around you performing, that were part of the awards. They seem to respect you, I think, because of your experience, and you seem to have brought a lot of people along. Is that tiring work? Is it? I mean, like, was it? I imagine it's really nice having lots of people coming to you for respect, for advice, and for how can I do this? And I can do that. But it must be exhausting having to look after so many people. Your young Padawans.
Yeah. Again, this has been ongoing since 2007, really. Or I wouldn't say since 2007 because it's kind of when I first started doing live shows. But as I quickly established myself because I've been rapping for a while, and you know, the opportunity to put events on came around pretty quick, and that leads you into more aspects of the industry, and then you start meeting managers and promoters, and you just pick it up as you go. But I think, because of that, it's super tiring, and it kind of changes, to be fair. So when I was first releasing music, I was getting quite a lot of recognition for it, kind of UK wide, which is really unheard of for a rapper from Shropshire for a start, but it's also quite difficult to establish by anyone. You can be shouting into the wind for years, like. And so during them years when I was kind of first started popping off a bit, I'd get constant messages like asking for advice and different things, and listen to my track was the main one. And it's like, and me being me, and you can ask my missus because she'll tell you, like, I used to answer every single one, listen to every single song, give realistic and actual advice. And I think the reason why I say ask my missus is because about 4 years down the line, I actually said to her, do you know what? This is contributing to the burnout. This is like, do you know what I mean? Which I had a few years later, to be fair. But, you know, I think I was 6 months out during that burnout, and then I came back better than ever. But I think it's just me. I think, it's everything has its positives and negatives to the person you are, and I think I'm just that kind of guy. And I learned to deal with it, and now I learn to pace myself a bit more.
How brutal have you been with people that throw you a demo and stuff? Have you ever gone, yeah, this is garbage? I give them some pointers. Like, that must be really difficult because you've got to be honest, haven't you? You've got to be. You can't like.
Yeah, mine's usually constructive, I'd say. And it's usually, there's always technical points that you can point to. So it's not really difficult to kind of break something down, really. I mean, a lot of rappers, when they first start out, they put too many words in a line. Or not necessarily too many words in a line. They put too many words in a line for their kind of flow. You can fit 1 million words in a line if you want, and it sounds right. Busta Rhymes does it, and Tech Nine, for example. But so that was one of the advice I gave. I say you got to work on the pacing and take some lines out first, get the flow right, and then work it back.
Yeah, sometimes something simple sometimes can be more difficult to create. I think ODB is a great example of that because like he wouldn't throw too much into a song, but there'd be a certain line or a certain phrase or a certain like that you'd throw in there that would just make it. Do you know what I mean? He's not trying too hard, and it is difficult.
But on a technical level, I usually give them feedback. I mean, I won't lie and say everything I've listened to is good. There's been some real bad stuff that people make, and I suppose that's an opinion of mine. Someone might love it somewhere, but I never just think that's terrible. That doesn't help anyone, really. Do
you ever listen to stuff and think, oh, why didn't I think of that?
all the time, especially when you've had half the idea already, and then you've seen it done in a different way, a stronger way, all the time, especially when you've been writing so long. And anyone that's been writing 10 plus 20 plus years will tell you the same thing. There's nothing really original and nothing's new, so you've touched it all one way or another. But when you see it done to perfection with I mean, Nas does it all the time, and I'm always like, like that. I know I can, for example, be what I want to be. Like I had one pretty much just like that, even with the same references in to Black history before slavery, which never gets touched on much in regards to Black history. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, I had a song. It wasn't as good a song, that's for sure. It wasn't Nas, but it's the same concept. And
that's what I love about Nas, though, because Nas can be brutal, but he can be really, really sweet as well at the same time. And he can speak to even from when he first started, a lot of wisdom there. A lot of wisdom. He can speak real truths to people, and I think that's really important, especially with hip hop. Is if you can put a message across in a really thoughtful way, and it doesn't matter if you're creating something that's brutal. If you're conveying that message across in a way that makes sense and means something to people, that's where it's at, I think, with hip hop.
Definitely.
It's all about
that's old head talk, that is.
I mean, even with the Black Star movement, for something like, they went against Diddy and some of the biggest stars in hip hop, but they were like, no, come on, this is where hip hop came from. It's from the streets. Like, this is where it belongs. And that for me is really special. I love Black Star. That album's on my permanent playlist. It's dope. Mm. And what about your music? Since how's your music developed? Your own writing over the years as you've grown into an older man through life. I'm not calling you old. I'm saying we all do that. We all get grouchy and we all experience life. Yeah, how's time affected?
Even the young rappers, like, they even call me that. So they're like, yeah, he's the OG Traders. I'm like, no.
I wasn't gonna break out the OG. I was gonna let you bring that up.
But I mean, my writing. If I pulled, I've got my old rhyming books. I've actually got them down there because I moved house and found them all in the attic. So I've got some old stuff, 06, 05. And like, sometimes I get ideas from them, to be fair, which is pretty cool, that even though they were kind of useless at the time, I'm making use of them now, which is cool. But in general, it's like you wouldn't think it's the same person. Like maybe the approach, maybe the attitude, maybe the personality, maybe, but it's just like when I was younger, I just couldn't put into words what was in my head. And I think what's in my head hasn't changed. Do you know what I mean? So my ability to kind of, my ability to put it in a captivating way and actually still keep it a song,
I get jealous of I get jealous of my younger self. I look at I'd say I was just looking down because I got a pile of this of old notebooks, planning Pod Aid, running You Suck. I had a network with 5 different podcasts running, as well as the Shrewsbury Biscuit, as well as doing the radio, as well as having a job. And now I look at myself and I think I have got I struggle with the biscuit now. Like I've got so much, I had so much energy back then.
Nice, so many ideas and like. The only problem is you as an adult, or not an adult, as someone who's more grown, you're more equipped to execute them, but you've got less energy to kind of conceptualize them in the first place, and it's mad, really. You need 2 yous, really, a younger you and an older you, to take over the world, wouldn't you?
Exactly. That's why, to take it to the comic book world, I love Frank Miller's version of Batman, because he's older, he's more mature, less patience. He's just kind of like he's just get rid of it quickly, I love that. Less patience sometimes makes you a bit more efficient. You just get it done. I gotta say though, we went to the Balloon Fiesta last summer, and this is the first time I'd heard you live, and you actually blew me away. I don't want to blow a load of wind up your sail, but I think your performance was brilliant. I think I recorded that. I threw it on Instagram, and it went nuts. People love that.
That's crazy. Thank you, man.
No, it was really good. It's nice. It's weird though when you get to know someone before you've actually seen them before, and we interviewed each other. We were 3 times or 2 or 3 times, and I watched you perform afterwards. I'd seen videos, but to see it live, and I was like, that was really, really good, man. So well done for that.
Yeah, I did kind of prep. I prepped for that, in a kind of festival manner, I think. So there was a bit more theatrics in there, and to be honest, big stages, and big crowds. I don't know, man. I wouldn't say I like them better, because I like the small, intimate stuff. That they're usually the most bonkers, but the big stage, I just seem to just know what I'm doing, even though I've played on them way less than I've played in little clubs on little stages. As soon as I'm up there, I just feel really comfortable. It's crazy.
One, I think I mentioned him before, but I took my 8-year-old son to his first hip hop gig last week. We went to Manchester and we watched Harry Mack, who's I think the best freestyle rapper on the planet. I don't think there's anybody that competes with him.
He's mad with it, man. He's crazy with it.
He's driving along in his car and he's triple timing as things are going past. It's just unbelievable. And the way he describes it, what you're talking about, is like an energy exchange. And that's why I love him, because it's all about positivity. And that's what I got from your set. There's a lot of love, a lot of energy, and people are giving you that back. And it's like this amazing exchange of just pure positivity. So when you come off stage, I bet you're just buzzing, Yeah.
Especially after that one, I think, science, if you could break down the science of it, I'm sure there's so much to it that we don't understand, but it's
pure dopamine, pure concentrated dopamine, and just floating on cloud 9 for a week afterwards.
And I think it's right in that when you do a show and the crowd gives you the energy exchange you was talking about, I think the more energy they give you, the more the better the show is, the more amped it is, the more passion you feel and put into it. And it's it's crazy, really, because there's something traveling through the air at a subatomic level from that crowd to your brain. There is, do you know what I mean? And whatever else, I don't know. I love it though. I love it.
Have you ever been on stage and you've had a bad day, or you're a bit pissed off or something, and then you've gone and nailed a gig, and then it helps? Or is there a process you have to amp yourself up before you go on stage if you're feeling a bit lethargic? How do you kind of get yourself ready?
Yeah, do you know what? I wouldn't say unique, that's the wrong word, but I'm quite different to your typical artist. And the only reason I know that is because of all the artists I've toured with over the years have kind of said so. And I've been like completely blind drunk. I've been absolutely shattered after doing 4 gigs on the bounce and no sleep. And every time, as soon as I step over the stage, performance is like, I wouldn't say 100% because it never is, but it's still, you wouldn't know I'm in the state I'm in. Do you know what I mean? I think the worst one. Yeah. And I seem to be able to somehow still deliver to a particular or certain level. And even I don't understand that because, the perfect example, when we did a UK tour with Trickster and Solomon, and we did it. I think it was on the 3rd or 4th day in Derby, and then we had London the day after, and we got a lift to the Derby one, so we could all have a beer. So for the first one, I didn't drive, and we all had a great time. We was there till stupid late, and the lift that was taking us back just couldn't take us back. I can't even remember what happened. I don't even know they went about something like that. So me and Trickster was the only guys left. The club was shut. We stood outside. We're in Derby, so it's like probably a £200 taxi back to Telford, and he lived in Wolverhampton. And in the end, someone let us stay at their house. One of the last people that was at the show. So they said, "Look, keep at mine. You get back in the morning." So we went back to the house and we was up all night just partying. It's terrible. Yeah, well, it wasn't at the time. It was great, but looking back, it was. And so I got back to Telford the next day, and I had to drive to London. So it was my turn to drive. So we ended up getting my friend Solomon, who was also performing in London, to drive my car because I was in no fit state to drive. I tried to sleep on the back seat. It's a 3-hour drive. I didn't sleep a wink. I was just lying on the back seat, just awake. Yeah. And I got into the club in London, and I sat down, and 10 seconds later, I'd flat out asleep. And then all I remember is someone banging my shoulder and saying, "You're on." So I got up, I walked straight to the stage. And my mate says, "You absolutely obliterated it like it was ridiculous. Like you didn't see any of the acts or nothing. You just came on and just matched the energy, like blew everyone away." And then I went back to my seat and fell asleep again. And it's a very blurry memory. But my mate Solomon was like, "I've never seen anything like that in my life."
So were you playing your material, or were you freestyling, battling?
This was like a set. Yeah, so I was doing.
So all that stuff was like kind of muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I must have been running. I was running on empty, and I can't even explain it. I can understand getting up there and doing a tired, but not. I mean, he was saying it's one of the best sets we've done all year, and I said maybe I should go without sleep more then.
You run on pure energy. I mean, I had something similar just this weekend, and not to that extent. I mean, we went to me and my son. We went to the Ludlow Food Festival, and that was a long, hot day of walking around interviewing, and that was wonderful. By the way, I want to say thank you to the team there because they gave me like somebody from their marketing. And she was really wonderful, and she walked us around and introduced us to people, and it was really, very good. But it's a very hot, long day, and Ludlow is really far away as well too. And then the next day, we set up a studio at Shrewsbury Abbey, and we were doing. It was World Suicide Prevention Day, so I remember saying that morning to my wife, I can't believe I've said I could do this after Ludlow yesterday, and I thought, because it's quite a charged subject, suicide, isn't it? So I was kind of like, okay, we're going to set up the studio. I'm really tired. But as soon as I get behind the microphone, I don't know what it is. I perk up. It's just something happens when you're doing what you want to do and that passion sort of takes over. There's something really nice about that, I think.
Yeah.
That you get exhausted afterwards. So back to the awards, obviously, it's really, I could sit and talk to you for hours. I'm really good about your music and stuff because music's my thing. Yeah. What are you doing? What lessons did you learn last year that you think I'm not doing that again?
Don't do the awards again. No, you know what? We learned loads really. scheduling, I'd say, is probably the top one, and not scheduling of acts. I mean, scheduling like as in project plan, what to do and when.
Like an itinerary.
From day one to day 100, whatever it is. And I mean, it helped us in the planning. Things happened in the middle of the year that threw us off. So we ended up still, like now we've got a longer list of to-dos than we should have at this time. But that's my fault, really. But the schedule was there. We just didn't stick to it. You know what I mean? But it was there. But yeah, definitely scheduling. And then I think changes as well. Like, I mean, this isn't necessarily true because we wanted a band last year, but we just ended up not having a band. I think it was just Telford College band were going to play, and then they ended up not playing as a full band. They kind of played as a 3-piece, you know, without drums and stuff. And so we took out of that, and we was thinking, we had a bit of feedback saying, "Oh, where was the drums?" And you know. And I explained to them we did have them, but they got cancelled. So this year it was definitely get some bands. We haven't announced them yet, so I can't say it on the podcast. But they're wicked Shropshire bands. Everyone will know them.
I don't swear on my podcast, but you're an evil. I'm sorry, you can't say that on my podcast.
I'll tell you when we're finished. I think it's gonna be. Like the live acts went down well last year. I mean, mainly because of how talented they were. Do you know what I mean? Like you had Francesca, who at the time wasn't really singing a lot. She was pregnant. You know, we got her involved because I think she's been an amazing singer for years. You know, she's not really pursued it as a career or anything. So she's just been a really good singer that hangs around and does a thing. You know,
here we go. OG Trademark Blud, just bringing them along.
Yeah, but she absolutely smashed it. Honestly, standing ovation she got from the whole place. Abby Jean, like she's wicked. She's way more active. And you know, I expected it from her. She smashed it. Jack and Alice, you know, without the band, it went down really well. And I just think this year is going to be more crazy. I think with that big band sound, we've got a rapper. No, we've got a couple of rappers maybe. Oh, I mean, I can't be letting anything slip.
Are you getting on stage? Are you going to be like?
I think I'll do what I did last year, which is I'll put in a set for myself on the understanding that if the times go bad, we've got that 15 minutes to play with.
Oh, so very really, clever.
I put myself in last year just as that buffer. If things go really bad, at least we can claw back 15 minutes. And then obviously after that, then you've got to start cutting other acts set, haven't you? Because the awards have got to go out. So turned out it was ace. I think we finished 20 minutes early and we overestimated, but I think we'll probably be closer with that, with getting it right this year, you know. So, but yeah, I usually do that. And then if everything goes well, I get to perform. So, hey.
What do you think you did? I mean, you said the live music was really good, but as far as the awards are concerned, what do you think you did really well? What do you think you give you and your team a pat on the back for?
I'd say the marketing went well, but I don't think I can really put that down to the team. I think that was the occasion of it all, the nominees posting about it, yourself getting involved, BBC introducing, I think, you know, so you could say, oh, you know, we went down the right avenues and kind of did the right things. But I think without the community behind it, the promotion would have been dead. So I can't even, I mean, maybe we put ourselves in the right position, maybe. I think the artwork was good. I think, you know, we helped with the engagement and stuff. And
very good artwork.
The how, maybe the who we picked, getting Shutzy to host it. I think a lot happened right, probably more than what should have for your first attempt at it, really.
But now you got that level now to reach and then surpass.
Yeah, so people don't all go to shit this year.
I'm leaving that in. Sorry, kids. I really like that. You know, because it's a huge ordeal. Because everybody's just seen Selena Gomez. Did you see her reaction to what's his name? Chris. What's his name? Chris Brianna, what's his name? Chris
Brown.
Brown. I can't believe I forgot his name. That's stupid. He won an award, and Selena Gomez was like, face like she's become a meme now. So there's people going to be disappointed and stuff. There's also going to be people that's ecstatic. It's a fully charged evening, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, last year was quite. I'd say the people that didn't win, because they're not losers by any means, they're nominees. I think out of the thousands of emails, thousands of forms that get filled out, they're top quality. And I think we stressed it. I said it on the mic a few times when I performed and stuff. Shutzy mentioned it, and I think that feeling seemed to travel around the room, and in people that didn't win the award were still super happy to be there, super happy to be involved. And I didn't get much in the way. I think I got one band that were unhappy. I think that they didn't win, but they gave me like a really long list of feedback. But I think it came down to they didn't win, and I think it's fair enough. I think what's wrong with wanting to be a winner? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. And what's wrong with being upset when you don't win? Fair enough. I think
I think the real winners are us, the enjoyers of music, because
I hear that,
when you've got a county full of top quality musicians that have been illustrated in a very, very brilliant way by you guys. Not only does it, like I've mentioned so many times, it gives someone something to strive towards, but they're there for a reason. They're there because of the quality you've chosen them for. So What you're doing is you're telling everybody in the county who these people are. So more people engage, more people listen. So we're the real winners, the consumers.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed. I think if there was a way, I mean, I don't know how each individual act looks at it, but I think if there was a way to have the nominees feel as if by being nominated that they've won something, that would be closer to the truth than feeling like I've got the chance of winning something. I honestly believe that. I think it's true. I think that you've already won. I know it's cliche as hell, isn't it? Oh, you're all winners, but I think being nominated, you have won something. You've won a nomination, as far as I'm concerned. You've won the Shropshire have chosen, and the judges have spoken, and people have, and I've never seen any. And this year or last year, I've never seen anyone say, "Oh, they're crap," or "They don't deserve to be there." Or I think people understand that,
And if you're not that good, you just need to try a little bit hard. I'm joking. His face. He's like, I can't believe you just said that. No, I feel the way I feel is I can't rap. I can't play an instrument. I can't sing. I can probably make a bit of music if I really, really try, but I'm not that great at that either. So I feel like if you have that ability and you get to go on stage in front of people and slam on a guitar and make people happy, I think that is an incredible ability. I'm so jealous of every musician because I just can't do it. And music is my life, and so, yeah, I'm properly jealous of every musician that exists.
I had the same envy for envy for sax players and stuff, and keys players. I just watch them and I just think there's nothing I'd love to be able to do more than the simplicity of when they're just and they're playing this sound, and I feel the same. Even as a musician, we have that same feeling, to be fair.
And it's good to try new music out. I mean, when we went to watch Harry Mack, I didn't even know who the support acts were, and there are Too Many T's, great rap duo. And if you imagine a British version of the Beastie Boys, that's literally what they are. And the rapping is just like so clean, and they're jumping around on stage. They've got break dancers going. Never heard of these people before, but now they're on my permanent playlist. Do you know what I mean? You just got to take a chance, haven't you?
Yeah, they do. They do a bit of the festival circuit. Too Many T's, to be fair.
They're fun, really fun. Exactly. I really enjoyed them. So what can people expect this year that may be a little bit different from last year? I mean, if people listen to this for the first time, maybe didn't listen to our podcast from last year, maybe weren't involved, just tell the folks that are listening what they can expect if they were to buy a ticket to go to the event.
Well, the first thing is that I'm up for 12 awards this year, so that's the biggest.
Yeah, every
change.
single one. The best event, best dressed, best Wu-Tang hat.
There's some big changes coming in this year.
I'm gonna win them all. He's the kingpin. He's the kingpin in the musical world. You might as well go in now.
I think, like, if you bought a ticket to the awards and you are in any way a music lover, doesn't have to even be local music. You could not have a Scooby about one single act in Shropshire, and you'll go there. You'll be entertained by the acts. The acts are top quality, nothing but quality. There's going to be good laughs there, of course. If you are into music in any way, shape, or form, the networking opportunities, I'd argue, are probably the biggest in Shropshire. I don't think you'll get more musicians. Loopfest's a great example. So you get more. I'd say there's more musicians at Loopfest than there will be at our awards. I don't know what their numbers were, but I bet it's a few thousand kind of go through.
Yeah, they did well.
You know, not to mention the music lovers as well, which is, I'm sure it's pushing up 3,000-4,000. Yeah. And but I'd say the networking opportunity at Loopfest, it wouldn't be the same as the awards. I think you're in the foyer, you're you're with a group of people. And that's why I'd argue it's the biggest kind of networking opportunity for a musician or a venue or anybody, you know, attached to the music industry in any way. I
feel like it's really hard when you have someone that's not as appreciative of new music as yourself, because you're kind of like, you know, come and see this thing. My wife is the perfect example. I'm going to see. She bought me tickets to see Highly Suspect next week. One of my favorite bands. They got me through COVID, and she bought me 2 tickets. And she was like, "You have to take a friend because I ain't going to watch them with you." I was like, "You what? She bought me these tickets. You want to go?" But yeah, so you got all the like. Loopfest was the perfect example. I met so many new bands. Manor Heights from Telford. They were wonderful. They're really, really good. And Vincent White as well. Vince White, who's playing in the Anchor.
I don't think I saw you, to be fair. We didn't cross paths, did we?
Do you know what happened, right? I said to Jamie, I was like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come to every single venue, all right? I'm going to bring a microphone, each one. I started at the Castle. I went down to a pub down there. Is it the Bull? By the train station in Shrewsbury. Went in there. And then we went to the Anchor, and that was it. I had all my microphones, headphones. I had a tripod with me. There was that many people about. It was really hard to move around to places. I was exhausted by the third venue.
It was Ramo. Like, I had the same. I literally sat down the evening before and made an itinerary, looked at all the different posters, who I wanted to go see. There was obviously I had my own set to play, and just plotted it all around. And I didn't even get to half of it. Like,
were you at the venue? Did you play? Did you play?
Yeah, I played. King's Head. I'm gonna say, but I'm not sure. Right near the Salopian. I think it's.
Right.
King's Head, Mardol. I think.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I was amongst a load of acoustic acts, so I think maybe I thought I was in the wrong place at first, but it definitely, from the chilled out acoustic to me jumping, bouncing off the walls, was interesting to see the change. And then it went back to acoustic-y after me, which was funny. I bet they
didn't even get to see Chase in August. Didn't even get to see Chase in August, and I love them.
Were they in the Castle? I think I might have saw them.
They were in the Castle, yeah. I did interview Jack Norcup afterwards. So if you go back and listen to the Loopfest podcast, guys, if you haven't heard it already, we interviewed so many of the acts that were taking part. We did get quite a few, and afterwards I spoke to Jack, and you know, it's just so when you got a free event like that goes across the town, it's almost like I don't want to say it's like a drug, because that's like a very negative way to look at it, but it's like, have a taste of this, you might want a bit more, you know, and then you'll see these acts playing around Shropshire and you might want to go to one of their gigs, and it's so worth it. It's so worth it to introduce yourself to music.
I thought it was amazing what they did. Like, I mean, Jamie on his own as well, like the work he put in. I mean, I don't claim to know even half of what he went through, but I can imagine. And I just think it's an amazing thing. It's just an opportunity to you cramming in a year's worth of gig going in a year. It's and
he's the one person I've seen put ADHD to good use. I'm not even joking. I was at the castle, and he's putting up a marquee, and I can't remember what I asked him. I asked him for help or something, and he was about to put it down and go and help me. I was like, no, dude, carry what you're doing. I'll help myself. Don't worry. But he's doing like 3 things at the same time. He's I think I saw him on the Welsh Bridge when I was on my way to the anchor, and he was like, "Biscuit!" as he was running past.
I
love that guy.
Yeah, definitely.
So how well has the feedback gone this year for this year's event? There's lots of interest. Are the tickets flying off the shelves?
I think it's more gone than last year already, and we found that kind of a week before, if it's like last year, I think it will probably sell out. I think there's about 40 tickets left now. So I can't remember the numbers last year, but I've got a screenshot of the seats somewhere. But it was weird because there was so many left, and then the day before we looked again, and like about 30 more had gone. So it went from looking a bit empty at the back to nearly looking full last year. Wow. But and if that happens this year, it'll sell out because, like I say, there's only 40 left. So if there are a few people waiting to know if they can be bothered on a Thursday, which is understandable, if and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go," and but so
like me,
you kind of hoped it'd sell out, but I mean, it's as good as nearly. I think we're getting there.
Well, this is going out on Monday the 18th. So Monday as we come to it. So guys, you don't have much time. So if you listen to this and you want to get a ticket, where do they go to get their tickets?
Shropshire Music Awards.co.uk, or you can go straight to the Telford Theatre site. You can probably just Google Shropshire Music Awards, and I think both of those links will probably come up first in Google.
I'm gonna have a look now. Shropshire Music Awards comes up right at the top, folks. Literally the first things comes up on Google. So click on that and get your tickets.
It takes you to the ticket link on the theatre website.
I think Trademark is putting me in the broom cupboard. I don't know where I'm going to be. He's going to put me. I'm going to bring a microphone on a tripod. I think just so that I can stand in a corner somewhere and be like, "Yo, the Music Awards."
Yeah. Well, like I said, same as last year. There's a few green rooms at the back you can use. The only disadvantage to that, obviously, is you're not actually getting to watch the show. So, but there'll be a seat for you at the front. If you need it. Yeah, of course, mate, of course.
Watch you win all 12 awards. If you're winning all 12 awards, what we'll do is we'll just do one big interview at the end.
Exactly, yeah, the winner.
Which one's the shiniest one?
Yeah. But you can always, I guess, it's a difficult one, really. Well, I suppose we'll have to talk about it more, but because there's breaks and there's also acts, although you don't want to miss the live acts if that's your opportunity to get the interviews with the winners.
We'll organise it. What I'll do is I'll see if I can get a helper, so we can have 2 people, so we can swap, one in the green room, one in the seat, so we can.
The younger you, if you can figure it out. The younger you we were talking about before. That's what you mean.
That's what I need. I'll we'll find some way of dealing with this. I'll bring my 8-year-old. Here you go. He'll do it.
That's it. That is the younger you, really.
No problem with the swears, and I don't mind saying on a podcast that I listen to Wu-Tang with my kid. I always say to him, like, music should be listened to as it was created. Swear words exist. He just chooses not to use them because he's a good lad.
Yeah, he's been raised right. Yeah, he knows them all by that age. And even if he doesn't, the others in the class do. So it's not long before he does. It's spreads like wildfire. Bad language.
It's very useful sometimes. If you kick a coffee table or something, to shout out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great.
It's very useful.
What would you say to any musicians that are listening right now? I mean, this is going to probably try not to be as cliche as it's going to. Any musician that are listening now that may be a little bit shy but would like to win an award one day, from the Jedi to the Padawan, What would you say? OG Trademark Blud. Here we go.
I'd say repetition's the key. I think definitely one of the big ones. Repetition is one of the big keys to the big doors, and it doesn't really matter what it is you're repeating within reason and within music. Repeated drug abuse might go a wrong way for you.
Guys.
but freestyling, for example, you freestyle every day. You can walk down the road and you can freestyle about absolutely anything off the spot. I'm a perfect example of it because when I was younger, I was crazy at it. Now, when I do it, although I could scrape by, I am actually scraping by. And it's literally because I haven't gone on that bike and rode it for, I used to get on that bike and ride it every day, five hours a day, making little cassette tapes, just freestyling. And it was just easy. Leave it for a bit because I'm making music. And not really freestyle, and all of a sudden it's become a difficult task. Repetition, mixing and mastering. The more you do it, the more you rap, the more you sing. Everyone like gives you all these different ideas and advice about, you should go on X Factor or this or that, but it really is just keep doing what you're doing, and if you do it more, then you've got more chance of being successful.
Dave Grohl said something interesting about X Factor. He said, when you're in a band, you've got to learn to suck for a little bit. You got to learn to be terrible. Because you got to learn to knock those flaws out yourself. You can't walk onto a stage and expect to be an immediate star. You've got to work at it, like you said, repetition. You got to get to a point where you can be absolutely bladdered to the point where you're passed out in a nightclub so you can get up on stage and just smash it, just like Trademark Blud.
Exactly, yeah.
So kids, don't listen to me. My advice is terrible. Just keep practicing doing it while you're drunk. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, it's always a pleasure chatting to you, my friend. And we'll be there. We'll give you the support. This is going out on Monday the 18th. So guys, as you're listening to this, go to the website shropshiremusicawards.co.uk. Give them a follow on Facebook as well. Got a good social media presence there as well. And we should see you at the awards. Have you got any message of thanks or anything that you want to say to people that are part of what you're doing?
I won't start with the sponsors because I'll forget one and that would be really bad. But thank you to the sponsors. A lot of people probably don't grasp that it actually costs quite a fair bit to put it on, and the ticket sales don't actually cover it. So the sponsors they're picking up the last bits to actually even make it possible. So without them we wouldn't be able to do it, because like I say, it's a fairly expensive event, and you can't always, tickets are like £10. If you look at any other show going on at the theatre, they're 15, they're 28, they're 32, they're 45. And it's not even because they're trying to make a huge profit. It's probably because that's what it costs, because if you're putting on, I don't know, AC/DC tribute band, they might be a few grand just to book them. Do you know what I mean? So, so we've got one of the cheapest events on there, and it's because we're targeting the local musicians. I wouldn't be paying no £42 to go and watch, as much as the awards are brilliant. £42, ridiculous amount, really. Maybe that's me being old school and moaning about the price of Freddos and stuff, but that's too steep. But so I've got to really thank the sponsors. Got to thank the missus for supporting me, and just everyone, really, everyone I know and I get involved in. Thank you, Alex. You know what I mean? I think it's just nice to be around people that understand your dream and have their own dreams, and it's nice to kind of link with people and speak with people like that, because it keeps the creative juices flowing and keeps my faith in humanity. You know what I mean?
In music, I think there's a point in everybody when they get older, they think, "Oh, music's gone now." Like we've had our moment, and I do think that we've kind of meandered a bit to segregating music. We talked about this last time, putting music into its own little pocket. Like you listen to the radio now, it's like Jonas Brothers, Pink, and Taylor Swift. That's all you're getting on the radio. Like I'm like, where's the Nirvana style bands? Where's the hip hop? Where's the it's all seems to be manufactured stuff. So when you listen to something like that's local, a local band, and you hear actually there's some really talented people around you playing in pubs and in clubs, and they're keeping the local economies alive by selling pints, selling tickets, selling T-shirts, all that kind of thing. That is so important. So important. So go and support it, folks.
Definitely. I think you get better music underground than you do in the industry. Maybe not better quality, as in mixing and mastering, production, £12,000 microphone and a 25 grand studio, but I'd say creatively it's better. Definitely.
I like a bit of grit though. I think 80 Aliens is probably a million times better than Stankonia, and people love Stankonia. I'm talking about Outcast now because it's got that grit, that kind of that cheap set sound to it, and I love that. I think I'm going way back now, but that's what I love. I love a bit of grit.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I like the crackle on the vinyls. I do. I like that sound. I love it. Like, I love it.
That's a very Wu-Tang sound. That is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really, really great chatting to you. I think your event's going to be amazing. I wish you the best of luck, and everybody that's nominated, be careful because I'm going to be about. I may have a camera, and I want to see if I can beat Selena Gomez with a stank face. Though, when you don't win, so I'll be out there with a camera. That'd be brilliant. Brilliant. Peace out, man.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It's always great catching up with an old friend, especially when you can sit and talk about music. An episode like this is like a bonus to me. I really, really enjoyed it. And you know what, guys? Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, this is a highly sought after ticketed event. I don't know what the tickets are like, but it was definitely worth giving the Shropshire Music Awards a quick Google, or go to shropshiremusicawards.co.uk and having a look if you can get there. It's held at the Place in Oakengates, and it really is worth going to see. I feel like whether you've been nominated or whether you win an award for an event like this, you deserve that recognition, especially for what you do for the local economy. If you're listening to this and you're a local musician, thank you, because you give bars, restaurants, and the staff that work there a purpose to be there. You know, live music absolutely offers something special to the nighttime economy. So you deserve the recognition. So whether you've been nominated or you win, I don't want to see any L marks being thrown up or some funny faces if you don't win. You know, you guys are all winners to me, and that's cheesy, but I mean it. I really do. Thank you so much for choosing this podcast to listen to today. I really do appreciate all of your support. And if this is your first time listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, we've got over 400 episodes for you to go back and look at. It's not always all time sensitive. There's stuff there about mental health. There's stuff there about local businessmen. There's people about the authors, artists, things that you can learn about. This town and the county is very, very passionate thing for me, and that comes across in this show, I hope. Also, you can give us a follow on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, or X as it's called now. We're on Threads, and we're also on TikTok. We're everywhere. You can follow us everywhere, and I do appreciate that more than you know. Right, I'm going to leave you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.